Hi guys, welcome. And who dat? I'm Joe, and the New Orleans Saints have made their first round selection. With pick 29 in the first round of the 2023 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select defensive tackle Brian Bresee from Clemson. This was an often picked selection for the Saints at this spot. I was determined, convinced that they were going to move up and grab some second or third round talent. But instead, they stay put and get Bresee. Bresee. Bresee's a good player. I wasn't sold on him. I think at the spot, at the time, there were a couple of players we could have got besides Bresee, but overall, it was the best choice for the Saints. The biggest position of need, the best player at that position, and a pass rushing talent, which the Saints don't have in the middle of the defensive line. So, can't argue with it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope this guy turns out to be a great player. So, let's talk about Brian Bresee out of Clemson, 6'5", about 300 pounds. He's going to play the three tech, and hopefully he can rush the passer. He's got good enough size to play against the run, 32.5-inch arms, 10 and 1/4-inch hands. He ran a 4.86 40-yard dash. He ran a 1.71 10-yard split. Only had a 29-inch vertical. Not impressive. And 22 bench reps. When wide receiver Jonathan Mingo has 22 bench reps, defensive tackle Brian Bresee having 22 bench reps doesn't impress me. But he's been through a lot. People say his character is excellent. I believe at one point when he was a rookie, he might have been ACC Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, something like that. He's made the third team ACC, second team ACC. He just doesn't have a lot of film in the last couple of years that was very impressive. He was dealing with a lot of injuries, including the death of his sister and shoulder injury, kidney problems. Yeah, you name it. So hopefully he can stay healthy, and hopefully that great character is a plus, and we get more production on the field than what I've seen in the last 2 years. I'm not going to bash Bresee too much. Let's look at who was drafted before the Saints got Bresee. This is the entire first round. Lots of teams moved up, moved down, moved around. And the way the board fell by the time the Saints picked, by the time the 14th pick came, I knew the Saints weren't going to trade up. Until then, I thought they would. But by pick 14, I figured the board had fell to a point where there was about 15 players left that the Saints could target with their first round pick. And sure enough, they did not move up. The biggest heartbreak for me, of course, is when Tampa Bay selects my favorite player, Kalijah Kancey. And then Dallas steps all over my heart when they take defensive tackle Mazi Smith, just 3 picks before us. But overall, Bresee is not a bad pick for the Saints. Now, besides Bresee and then Nolan Smith and Anadike Uzuma go right after, I'll show you the list of the players that are available. There's the list. I have 17 players highlighted. Those are the players I would not mind drafting in the second round. With the second round pick, we pick at pick 40, and the draft starts tomorrow with pick 32. So 8 players are going to go off this list, probably this list. And I have 17 players highlighted that I wouldn't mind the Saints taking. So take a look at those. Now, is there someone on this list I would have taken before Bresee? Well, when it's all said and done, probably getting the defensive tackle at that spot was probably a good pick, because the only two I would really entertain in the second round besides Bresee would be Gervon Dexter out of Florida If you want to consider Tua Pilatu, I would definitely consider him. And Adetomawe Adebaware from Northwestern could be a consideration at defensive tackle. And you also have Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin. So those guys, you wait 8 more picks. Are they there? Could be. So you go ahead and pull the trigger on Brissy. I think that tight end Michael Mayer might have been a pretty good pick. Cornerback Joey Porter Jr. was the pick, I think, by the time we were selecting. I was convinced the Saints would take. And then, of course, Osiris Torrance, the offensive guard, sitting there, great. Saints could also have gotten Foskey. They could have gotten Drew Sanders, no doubt. And they could have been focusing on Cedric Tillman as well, wide receiver. So there you go. Who will the Saints take in the second round off this list? Well, I originally had them taking Keon White with the first round pick and then trying to get Luke Musgrave with their second round pick. So they got Brissy, and I'll tell you, with all of these players that I've highlighted, I would not mind having any of them at pick 2. I mean, when it's all said and done, of course, I hope it's Torrance or Avila. But a second defensive lineman wouldn't be bad either. And Drew Sanders and Trenton Simpson are 2 players that are going to turn out pretty good. So the linebacker wouldn't bother me. Cody Mock, Steve Avila at guard would not bother me. And I love Jonathan Mingo, of course. So of all these people, the second round pick that would probably disturb me the most would be Hendon Hooker. Even if we got Will Levis, I wouldn't cry in my cornflakes as much as a Hendon Hooker pick. Even Brian Branch at the nickel would be great. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun watching the second round tomorrow night. I will be getting you a video out talking about all of our selections shortly after they're made. Subscribe to Rosenfeld 10 for more videos like this. I hope Brissy turns out to be a great player. Congratulations, Brian. Congratulations, Saints. And Who Dat Nation, I hope we can be congratulating ourselves in years to come with this one. Until then, talk to you tomorrow. Until then, Who Dat?